What's your name and where you from?
I'm K1, I'm from London, East.
Born and raised, yeah?
Born and raised.
Talk to me about what life was like growing up.
It was good, I had a good childhood. My mum and dad made sure that me and my sisters were sweet. Regardless of if they were struggling, they never let us see that really. So yeah, I had a good childhood, man. I had a good support system at home.
Yeah. Would you say that there was struggles at home that you noticed, even though your parents kind of created an environment where you didn't feel it as much?
Yeah, I think just like the normal things of money struggles and relationship problems, it was very evident from a young age, but like I said, my mum and dad, they tried as best as they could to make sure that me and my sisters didn't see that, you know what I mean? So, and I'm the youngest as well, so
yeah.
it was hidden from me even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How would you describe your relationship with your parents?
Good. I've got a very strong relationship with my mum. Yeah, she's great. I still live with her now. So yeah, we have a good relationship for sure. Yeah.
Talk to me about what it was like being a younger sibling and just having some older siblings.
It was tough. I always got spoken for. And I think in turn, that made me quiet as an adult because I always had my sisters there to like lean on, and like if I was ever uncomfortable, it was like they were there to just talk for me, do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like that made me a little shy and quiet as an adult, but I'm learning to be my own person now, innit?
Yeah, that's interesting. So you would say that the shyness that you kind of built as a child followed you as you grew older?
I think so, yeah.
How do you think that impacted your life in general?
It's kind of, it's like a catch-22. It's like I'm grateful because I don't let a lot of people into my space, and I think that's a good thing because you never know people's real intentions or whatever. But it's also bad because, not that I find it hard to make new friends or like I find it hard to network with people, but it's just meant that like my social skills are not as good as other people's, or as good as I see other people have, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not mad about it. Like I said, I'm still growing and trying to find my feet and be my own person, so yeah.
Do you think that ever impacted you when it came to opening up about how you felt, just about anything?
Yeah, 100%. I'm very, when times get hard, I shut down type of person. I've only recently learned how to be comfortable having hard conversations and speaking about my emotions and stuff. It's only really like the past year or so I've been able to like channel that part of me. Yeah.
Is there a particular experience that you went through that brought that out?
Meeting people, yeah, meeting people. I have a very, very close friend who made it clear that I needed to speak up more and open up and just talk about how I'm feeling, yeah.
What's one life experience that you've been through where looking back you wish you opened up a little bit more?
I think losing my granddad, I wish I spoke to him a lot more. I wish I told him how much he meant to me and my family. I think he knew, but we never really used to say it. Like, we never really used to say, I love you, like, we rarely hugged. He was a very, like, just like a proper man, you know what I mean? And I think the only time I told him that I loved him was when he was on his way out, and that I regret a lot. Because I'm like, I wish I told you a lot more growing up, because he was really the foundation of my family, for real. But I'm glad I did get to tell him in the end, you know what I'm saying? It's never too late, I don't think. Until it is too late, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah. What was your relationship like with him?
Great. He's a great, great man. He fueled mine and my sister's childhoods. I feel like early memories are like him taking us to a beach somewhere like in Wales or going to France. Yeah, there's a lot of memories of museums. I used to go to a lot of museums with him. Growing up, like on my school holidays, like summer holidays and stuff, we'll be with him. But yeah, he's a great man. He's definitely the foundation of my family. Anything we needed, we could call my granddad and be like, yo, can you help me with this? Can you help us with that? And he'd sort it out straight away. Yeah.
Where were you when you found out he passed? Talk to me about that situation.
I was there. I was there when he passed. He was super sick for a while and he was in hospital, and I was traveling so much at the time. I was back and forth in between home, and I remember being in LA and my sisters called me and were like, I think you're gonna need to come home, like I think Granddad's about to go. And my mum was just like, just hold on for a sec, like, that's the thing about my mum, she's so supportive. My whole family's so supportive. My mum is there like, no, I don't want to stop you from doing what you're doing because I know you're working right now and I know you're busy. I'd rather you, like, let me just figure some shit out before you come back.
Yeah.
And I came home and they moved him to a care home, and it just went downhill from there. I feel like being in a care home, I don't know, it's something that just switches when somebody goes there. And it just went kind of downhill, and he was there for a good few weeks. I'm gonna say maybe even like a month he was there. And yeah, it was just one day we all went there. No, it wasn't all of us, it was me, my mum, my sisters. But he had seen everyone at that point. It was like he waited until he saw every single person in my family, or anyone that ever loved him. He waited until he saw everyone, and then peacefully went in his sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. The moment he left, how were you feeling?
I think I was just in shock. Like, it didn't feel real for a while, and I kind of, I think I distracted myself for like the first 2 weeks of him being gone. Yeah, I didn't really see my mum that much. I was really out a lot, which I probably shouldn't have done. I probably should have stayed with her and comforted her a little bit more. But yeah, I just had to distract myself. It was so weird because life was going, on the other side of things, life was going so well for me and I was doing so much and things were just moving, and then that was happening. It was just like a complete switch up, which was hard for me to just like, I don't know, it was just hard for me to manage those emotions, I guess. But yeah, I very much distracted myself, which I think was a bad thing, but yeah.
Yeah. Almost seems like that situation almost brought you back down to reality a little
100%, and it made me just realize that my work is not my life, and it has been for a minute, but I had to just be like, no. Slow down for a sec, like, remember who you are, like, before K1, do you know what I'm saying? Like, remember who you are just as a person, period, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask how long ago this was?
This was the end of last year. Yeah, the end of last year.
Still very fresh.
Yeah, it's fresh for sure.
How would you say you've been dealing with grief?
It's up and down, left and right. Like, grief is such a weird thing to come to terms with. There's days I feel good, there's days I feel bad, you know what I mean? There's days I look at my mum and I know she's doing good, and then there's days I look at her and she's not doing so well, you know what I mean? Bless my mum, she lost her dad and then her mum shortly after. So she's had a bit of a roller coaster this past like year or so. But I think me and my family are so tight knit, and we're so, we like, there's a real genuine deep love there between us. It's helped a lot because we're all just there for each other. And I got a niece and nephew as well who are 4 and 2, so they don't know no better. They're coming around and bringing the whole energy of the house up, you know what I mean? So it's good that we have them for sure, yeah.
On those days that are not so good, what would you say some of the thoughts and the feelings that you have are?
I think just regret, honestly, just regret. I wrote a song when my granddad was sick in LA. I remember I had spent a week with my boys, Fax and Zeke. They produced some of my best songs, and I was like, I'm gonna bring you lot out to LA. we're gonna make bare songs. Like it's undeniable. This little trio we got, it's just crazy. 5, 6 days in, hadn't written a thing, and I'm like, what's going on? Like my brain is blocked, and I don't know what's blocking it. And I spoke to my manager, and she was like, I think you're thinking about your granddad too much. And I'm like, all right, let me see if I can go write about that. And I did, and I wrote a song for him. And in the chorus, I say, if I ever get the chance again, I'm gonna say that I love you. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think those bad days, I'm just feeling regret because I'm just like, I didn't tell you when it was most important to you. I didn't tell you how much you meant to me and how much you've done for my life and all of that stuff. So yeah, I think it's more regret than anything. I'm such an advocate now. And before, to be honest, I always tell my friends I love them, and my mum and my sisters, like, always, but like, I don't know, there was something about my grandparents where it was just like, there was just this little barrier that like, just got in the way of me just like opening up and be like, nah, like I genuinely do love you and I appreciate everything you've done for my life, like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
What do you think's changed the most about you since that moment?
I think I just appreciate people a lot more. I think people come into your life for a certain reason. I feel like there's a purpose for everybody, and I'm a lot more grateful for the people that are in my life. I'm always grateful for the people that are around me, because I have a small circle. I don't have like bare friends, and like I'm not here, there, and everywhere, like, you know what I mean? But I feel like I just appreciate everyone a lot more, and I'm just like, life is so short, bro. And even though my granddad had a long life and his time on earth was not short, it's just like shit can go like that, you know what I mean? And yeah, I just think you need to tell people you love them a lot more and a lot more. You gotta mean it as well, you know what I mean? Yeah.
You know, earlier you spoke about how you're trying your best to learn to open up to people a little bit more. What would you say the differences are in terms of how you feel from when you wasn't opening up to now doing so?
It's uncomfortable and it's hard, and sometimes I feel like I can't articulate myself very well in those moments. I'm like, sometimes I need just like an hour or so. Like if I'm having a difficult conversation with somebody, I might need a minute to just like take myself away and be like, all right, cool, what am I really trying to say here? How am I really thinking right now? And what is it I'm trying to get out of my brain? And sometimes I just need that. And a lot of people don't have grace for that, you know what I mean? But I hope that people do extend that grace for me sometimes when those conversations get hard, because I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I know you think you know what you want to hear, but in my brain, it's not processing right now. Like I just need a second to just, let me figure out what I'm trying to say. Let me figure out how I'm feeling, because right now I don't know. And let me just get that out and we'll go from there. Sometimes it's easier for me to like write it down in my phone or something and then read it out to somebody. You know what I mean? I've done that before. I've written down a whole thing and then I've read it to you, because it's just easier for my brain to process things like that. Yeah.
Do you ever feel like your feelings are invalid?
I think it's down to the other person. Yeah, whoever you're speaking to, I feel like it's the same thing with that grace. If they extend that grace for you, then you shouldn't feel like your feelings are invalid. But if they don't, then of course you are going to, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But sometimes, yeah, but I think that's normal. Maybe.
I guess the question comes from, because I know earlier you mentioned your childhood and how you had a lot of people speak for you.
Yeah.
So in terms of speaking about your feelings, would you say maybe some things that you learned as a kid brought some struggles as you tried to open up about your feelings when you got older?
I think so, yeah. And it's not that my childhood ever made me feel invalid, like nothing that happened there, but it was more so just like, maybe you shouldn't say that right now, or maybe like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, just it's gonna be all right, it's fine, like, da, da, da. And I think that's where it's just been like, all right, cool, let me just shut down, let me not say nothing, let me not even think about how I'm feeling, let me just distract myself, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I wanted to ask, What would you say has been the most challenging period of your life?
I think secondary school, you know. Secondary school was so weird for me. It was like, I didn't get bullied or nothing, like, no one, like, I never had no qualms with no one or anything like that. And I'm not gonna say I was popular, but I was good in school, do you get what I mean? Like, all the little friendship groups and that, like, I'm cool with everyone type thing. But I couldn't really find my people. I didn't know who my people were like that. And like, I did have like a group of friends, and they're who I ended up like chilling with after school, like outside of school, after we had finished. But that time was a disappointing time for my family. I was just doing stupidness, hanging around with the wrong people, you know what I mean? But it was just like, I just couldn't find my people, and I just feel like I didn't really fit in nowhere. Like, no one really. But I think that's because I just didn't understand myself, and I didn't really know who I was as a person. I did, but it was like, where do I fit in here type of thing. It was weird, yeah. Secondary school was with me. It was like I enjoyed it, but I didn't at the same time. I hated school, but like, the overall journey of them, 5, 6 years or whatever, was okay, but it was just a struggle to try and find myself, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. When you say that you were just finding yourself in different groups, that you were getting yourself into trouble, would you be able to elaborate a little bit more on that?
I was just doing stupidness. I was smoking weed from like 12, 13, just chilling with the wrong people, just doing bad things, you know what I mean? And just like looking up to the elders and thinking that was about to be my life, and I was like, nah, this ain't for me. And then I lost one of my really good friends. I grew up with him from primary school, and it was when we were 17, I think. Yeah, 17. Because it was just before his 18th birthday, I feel like. And I'm upstairs, I'm making music, and I just hear bang, 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 bang on the door. My sister goes downstairs, or my sister opens the door or something, and I just hear her screaming, yo, 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 like, it's Kasim downstairs, it's Kasim. I'm like, what's going on? I've gone downstairs, and he's outside, just like, intestines out, guts out, like, and he'd been stabbed, and I was like, I'm looking at him, my mum's there, like, holding him, she's got, like, towels around him, like, there's nothing we can do though, innit? Call the ambulance, whatever. And I'm like, obviously not in this moment, but afterwards I'm like, he's passed away, unfortunately. And I'm like, I always think to myself, I'm like, if I had maybe like gone to the off license 10 minutes before, or if I had taken the bins out 10 minutes before, that actually could have been me on the floor, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I knew I didn't want my life going in that direction. And there's always I feel like there's always that moment when you're in that kind of environment of like, I'm either gonna keep doing this and risk either being dead or in jail, or I'm just gonna completely take myself away. And I did, and it was even before that I took myself away from that environment. As soon as I went to college and I saw that building full of musicians and creatives and people with a passion, and that was so ambitious and just like just had such a strong emotion and like strong passion for music and creating in general, I was like, that's exactly where I need to be. Yeah. Like, this is exactly who I'm meant to be with, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Sounds like that moment in your life was a big wake-up call, but at the same time, would you say it scarred you as well?
Yeah, I think so. It's like, it's just tough because it's just like, that's someone that I grew up with, do you know what I mean? And I hadn't seen him for a while when that happened. Because like I said, I'd stopped chilling with that group of people like a minute ago, probably like a year before that. Like just less than a year or whatever. But it was just like, raw, man. Bro was not even 18 yet, and this has happened to him, you know what I'm saying? And it was just sad, like, it was super sad. I'm just like, I used to play football with you in the park with my dad. Like,
Yeah.
I've literally grown up with you from young, and now you're not even here no more just because of stupidness, like dumbness, like, like that weren't meant to happen to you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. After everything you've seen and you've been through, how are you now?
I'm good, you know. I'm living, I'm breathing. Yeah, life is good. Like, I'm able to take care of myself now. I'm able to take care of my family, which is cool, even though they don't like me doing it. But yeah, I'm good. I'm managing this lifestyle. It's hard. It's tiring. It's draining, and it takes me away from home a lot. But I can only ever be grateful because this is all that I prayed for. You know what I mean? So I can't complain. But I am still human at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I'm good. I'm very grateful for my life right now and happy that I'm able to do what I'm doing, and I'm doing the job that I love. Yeah.
K1, thank you so much for talking to us.
Big love.
Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.